I'll speak my southern English, just as natural as I please. I'm in the heart of Dixie, Dixie's in the heart of me. And someday when I make it, when luck finds a way, somewhere high on Lookout Mountain, I'll just smile with pride and say that my home's in Alabama. No matter where I lay my head, my home's in Alabama. Southern born and southern bred. You know, those may just be lyrics to a song, man. But to us in Bama, it's a way of life. You know what I mean? Bama's a little different. It ain't like Mississippi or Tennessee, Georgia, or Florida for that matter.
My head will be here, so you're looking here.
Okay.
Not here.
Okay.
Not here.
Okay.
Right here.
Let me get this straight. I'm looking right there, huh? I don't really remember offhand if there was any time I was afraid. I was one of those that was fearless. My brother was always one of those that's like, I wouldn't do that, and I was one of those that's like, well, hold my shit, I'm gonna do it. One of the most mind-blowing things to me that I still remember is I was a little older, maybe 15. Me and a friend of mine, we had some girls with us. We went out through the woods to this place. It's called Ride Out because you have to ride four-wheelers out there. It's a fucking 3-5 mile walk, I don't know. But it's a natural spring, and above it there's a big cliff, kind of, that's probably about 80 feet above the water. Well, and this is water's like goddamn 70 degrees, so it's colder than shit. That I know of, nobody has jumped off that, but just this chick. With her, I said, it'd be cool if we jumped off that, and she said, I'll do it if you do it. So I climbed up there. My buddy's like, dude, there's goddamn rock. And that was a sad part. There was rocks all over, boulders under that water, so you had to hit it just right. And I didn't give a shit. I went up there, and I didn't even give it thought. I just ran and just jumped off of it. And I hit the water and went down. I don't remember how deep, but it was fucking cold. And when I came up, just the waves of the water, there was a boulder probably about a foot away from me. And that opened my eyes a little bit. You know, I mean, it didn't dull the evening, but at the same time, I was one of the, I could have goddamn died. I could have goddamn died right there over what a piece of ass that I didn't have a rubber for. I went small game hunting there in the backyard. Pretty much just squirrels, birds, rabbits, if we could ever brush one out. But nothing really major. I went on a few big game hunting trips. Well, I wouldn't say big game, like deer hunts with buddies and things like that, but I never really got much into it. It was big with some of my friends. They had the big jacked up 4-wheel drives where they could, you know, climb a goddamn pine tree if they had to. The guy driving his dad's truck or whatever, come in, have a shotgun in the back rack, park the son of a bitch in the senior parking lot, lock it up, and then go into school. Hell, and that was like that for some of us. We'd wake up early and go turkey hunting, and it wasn't nothing. My Monte Carlo, I remember, it wasn't nothing to have a shotgun in the back of it, pulling up in the senior parking lot, grabbing my shit, going into school. Nobody cared back then. Nobody was going to hurt nobody. Nobody was going to go ape shit. But it was civilized. Man, I remember 16 years old, I got a DUI. Smashed my car into another car. Didn't hurt nobody. Busted my head just because I flew up against the goddamn windshield. But it was still good enough to go to goddamn jail after it. But after I got to school, after I'd got out of jail and stuff like that, I got to school and I was kind of a celebrity. And it wasn't because I was in the Just Busted paper or anything like that. It was because people, the classmates, wanting to know where I got the goddamn beer from. That was it. Hey man, where'd you get the beer? We want to do what you just did, you know, probably. Where'd you get the beer? Where'd you get the beer? So right then the light bulb of dollar signs flew up in my head and I said, well, come to me if you want the beer. 90 days later, I got my driver's license back. I was on my way back to the beer store with a list. Got all my buddies' beer and shit, but I made a living doing it. Made a good living. So I'd sell them all. So I'd go get them beer, and I'd sell it to them for bootlegger prices. It was really interesting at this beer store. I'm a teenager, I'm 16 fucking years old, going into this place. It was a little mom and pop gas station, nothing too big. Had a fucking couch inside the place. He had a cooler that had normal sodas, 3 coolers behind the couch that contained alcohol. I go in through a strange coincidence of meeting the owner of this place, and I could just go in, grab a case of beer, lay it on the counter. Dude's $15.50. Pay it for it, leave. I got pretty good at that. I'd skip school, go there every morning, buy some fucking beer, throw it in the trunk. Usually I had ice already in the trunk, ready to go, just throw the beer on it. One morning I skip school. I walk in, I see the old fucker behind the counter, and I see 2 county deputies sitting right there on the fucking couch. So as a 16-year-old kid, what was I gonna do? I just fucking froze staring at the goddamn deputies. The owner of the place says, "Hey son, you're good to go." And I just look at him and said, "Okay." He said, "Get what you want." I walked past the fucking cops sitting on the damn couch. They both just look at me as I walk behind them to get to the beer cooler. Grabbed a case of fucking beer, laid it on the counter. Dude looked at me. $15.50, man. Pay my shit, leave. About maybe 3-4 miles down the road, I just had to pull over and just get a goddamn grip of what the fuck I just did as a 16-year-old kid in front of 2 goddamn cops.
So what led to the Army? Last question.
What led me to the Army? Well, after my DUI, it was kind of judgment day. I had to meet the judge. I met in his chamber instead of the actual courtroom. I was in his office. And my mom is standing behind me. Here I am, fresh 17, maybe a month past 17. And the judge says, reads my charges. He says, "That's pretty impressive, especially since you're a minor." Tells me, he said, "It's all a bad dream if I join the Army." 4 honest years is what he said. 4 honest years. And I said, "What's the ladder?" And he told me what the ladder was, and I just stood there looking at him like. And then all of a sudden I got literally slapped in the back of my head by my mom. The judge says, "Hey, thanks mom." "Son, what is it?" I said, 4 years. He said, "Excellent, we're going to shake hands. You're going to sign right here." So I'm walking out of his office, that's the actual chambers, and there stood an Army recruiter standing there. He's got a clipboard in his hand, looks dead at me and says, "Are you Bennett?" I said, "Yes, sir." And he said, "That's the last time you call me sir. My name is Staff Sergeant Jones. From here on out, I'll be taking care of you. Mom, I'll take him home. You're good to go." Mom's like, "Well, he's got to go see this person. He's got to go see," and the recruiter's like, "Mom, I'll take him home. I've got him. I'll take him home. What else, Mom?" I'll take him home. Does he need fed? I'll feed him. I'll take him home. I've got him. Fuck all those other people. Went straight from the courthouse to the recruiting office. Stayed there for probably 2 or 3 hours. And maybe 2 or 3 days later, I was on my way to MEPS. Montgomery, Alabama, MEPS. Enlisted in the United States Army.
And what does the Army mean to you all these years later?
You know what? I've never really looked into that. I've never thought about it. I mean,
think about it.
Yeah. I know why I stayed in. My country didn't have shit to do with it.
What had to do with it?
The fact that I didn't want to go stay on my grandmother's couch. That's shit you not.
All right. Seems as good a time as any to end it.
If you want to. I can tell you why her couch was shitty.
So do you want that documentary to end on, well?
No. I think we needed a better way. But still, I had nothing prepared after that.
Well,
Yeah.
that's part of doing it.